Hello, and welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. My name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in handling Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been hurt at work in Georgia with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation laws and the benefits they should receive under those laws. Now, let's jump straight into today's topic. Today, I'd like to talk to you about surgeries after workers' compensation MRIs. MRIs are a common test used by doctors to evaluate certain types of injuries. They're also used by doctors to determine whether you might need surgery in certain types of injury cases. Now, in a workers' compensation case, your MRI is probably going to be ordered by your authorized treating physician. Authorized treating physician is just a fancy word for your main workers' compensation doctor. Now, usually, before the doctor orders an MRI, they may have tried some sort of conservative medical treatment like physical therapy, medications, or injections. And if those things haven't worked, they do an MRI to evaluate whether you have a more serious injury. But there are some times where an MRI is done early on, right after you get injured. It just depends on what the doctor thinks from their examination of you. When the MRI is performed, the doctor should schedule an appointment to review the MRI results with you. Depending on what the MRI says, there are certain risks that you need to consider. If the MRI is read as being normal and not showing any injury, you have to have concerns that the doctor is going to say that you could return to full duty work. This could be the case even if you're still having problems from your injury. Doctors may look at the objective test results of the MRI and make a decision that you're better even though you're not really completely better. This can be a problem because if the doctor says you can go back to full duty work, your workers' compensation wage loss benefits, if you're receiving them, might be suspended. Now, if the MRI shows an injury, your doctor is going to make additional treatment recommendations based on what is shown on the MRI. Often, this will be a recommendation for surgery or possibly a recommendation for consideration of surgery after trying some other treatment options. For example, if you had a back injury and the MRI came back and showed that you had a herniated disc or a pinched nerve, it's possible that the doctor might recommend epidural steroid injections and then make a determination whether you needed surgery or not based on the results of those epidural steroid injections as well as the MRI. Some other common types of injuries that are evaluated on MRIs are rotator cuff and bicep tendon tears in your shoulder and arm, as well as ligament and meniscus tears in your knee. If you have an injury that shows up on an MRI, the next thing you need to consider is what you do if surgery is recommended. The first thing is, are you going to have the surgery or not? In workers' compensation, the insurance company cannot force you to have surgery. So you don't necessarily have to have it if you don't want it. It's certainly something you should discuss with your doctor as far as the risk and benefits of surgery. A second thing to consider is whether the workers' compensation insurance company is going to approve or authorize the surgery if you do decide to have it. Unfortunately, one of the big issues in Georgia's workers' compensation system is delay and denial of medical treatment by workers' compensation insurance companies. So you may want to move forward with the surgery and the insurance company denies it or just doesn't give the doctor an answer one way or the other. There are steps that you or your attorney can take to try to get treatment approved more quickly, including surgery. And the third thing that you need to consider is what happens after you have the surgery if you decide that you are going to have it and the insurance company approves it. Now, hopefully, the surgery gets you better. But in many times with serious injuries, I see people who do not recover 100% from surgery. They may have a 70, 80, 90% recovery. So they're doing a lot better than they were, but they still have some limitations or restrictions. In workers' compensation, there's a good chance that the insurance company is going to push the workers' compensation doctor, your authorized treating physician, to say you're 100% better and that you can come back to full duty work without restrictions. The danger in this is that Georgia workers' compensation law allows the workers' compensation insurance company to suspend your wage loss benefits if your doctor says that you can do full duty work without restrictions. So you need to be aware that this is going to be a potential issue and be prepared to address it. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you have, please consider two things before you go. First, I'd really appreciate if you give this video a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to be notified of future videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Second, if you've got workers' compensation questions, please reach out to get answers. I offer free consultations in Georgia workers' compensation cases. If you'd like to set one of those up, there's two easy ways you can do so. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Just click on and submit the free consultation request form there, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I'd like to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.